So, do. Let's talk about exit. What does exit mean? Exit can mean several things. Exit does not just mean sell. Okay. Exit can mean installing a CEO. You become more of a founder role. My marketing company, I am the founder of that company, and my wife is the CEO of that company. I founded it. That company's been around for 10 years at least. Okay. I owned a marketing agency before it was cool. So I was the CEO of that company for the first 2 or 3 years of that company. Then I started another company, and I thought, well, gosh, well, what better way to keep it in-house? And my wife took over that company as the CEO. Okay, still is today. And my role is very minute in that company. I just pick up my paycheck. That's it, pretty much. Kind of nice. And give guidance where needed, so on and so forth. Okay. I'm not really a CEO, more of a GM role, I guess you would say. But if you want to have a fancy title to it, you can call it that. Then you have the visionary integrator roles. Okay. I want all of you to go to Amazon. If you're an audiobook listener, pick it up. If you're a hardback book reader, pick it up. It is called Rocket Fuel. You will learn a lot about who you are in that book. Take the test, learn who you are, whether you're more of a visionary or you are more of a integrator. Okay, think of visionary as CEO, integrator as COO, kind of the same relationship. Okay, but it's good to know who you are, because if you're running a company, you want to try to pair yourself to a CEO, a COO that matches the right profile for you. Okay, so pick up that book. Highly, highly recommend you read it. Read it 2 or 3 times. Listen to the audio book a couple times. And what comes with it is a little test. You can take the visionary test and you can take the integrator test and see which category you more fit in. Okay. Now, another way to take yourself to exit or elevating yourself more into a role where you're just not needed as much, okay? You no longer have the chain on your foot, is ensuring you have multiple levels of leadership. Those are what I like to call fail-safes, okay? And I don't mean you have to have like 8 different departments and that department has a director, and under that director has project managers, and under them is another subset of, I'm just talking basic leadership across a company model. Okay, that's it. You have HR, sales, marketing, so on and so forth. Each has a leadership element that runs it, that reports to COO. COO manages that team, and this COO or this visionary knows how you think, what tasks that need to happen. I mean, this is your go-to person in a company. 100%. Takes a lot of pressure off of the CEO of a company to have a good support structure with a COO that can push that staff. Okay, so multiple levels of leadership, and push that onto the COO to manage it. If you don't have a COO, it could just be a general manager, it could just be, these are all titles. I mean, it doesn't mean that it has to be titled fancy. So look at some of that and how you can just put some of this together in very basic form. Okay, some of you might not be ready for this, but you will at some point. Okay, so, the point behind this all 6 modules that we have covered over the last 3.5 months is how to take your company, lift it into a growth and scale model that supports maximum revenue generation. Okay. Everything we have talked about should create that peak at some point in your company to create simultaneous growth, scale, and maximum revenue in your company. But none of it does any good, like I said at one point. One of these is only as good as how it's implemented. You can write all this stuff down. I've been to hundreds of masterminds over the years and seen people take 300 pages of notes. Talk to them 2 years later. How's it going? Didn't make it. Business isn't going good. But you took 300 pages of notes. No, what you did is took 300 pages of notes and didn't implement anything. Okay? So you have to be an implementer. You can't be a backseat driver in your own business. You just can't. You have to put it in drive and step on the gas and break the speed limit. Business loves speed. Money loves speed. Don't be afraid to invest in your company. Okay? Because the more you invest in the company, the more ROI you're going to see. Not always right away. Okay? Inputs, outputs, we had that conversation. Not always right away, but subsequent quarters, okay, is where you see profit jumps. Okay? Because lots of businesses have ups and downs, right? And sometimes that's just because of inconsistency. Sometimes that's just because of the market, or poor marketing, or poor avatar selection, poor targeting, poor many things. Or things just change, or nobody wants your product or service anymore. If you're in the service industry, I will tell you, my number one thing in service industry is if you release a product to the market, don't create it. Create the outline, launch it, do a pre-launch, sell the first 100, then create the product, release it on a launch date. Okay. The good product creators do it that way because they can test the marketplace first. So food for thought on some of that.